the first white person came to Africa, they found these vast open areas with vast numbers of wildlife. I can imagine the first time somebody saw the Serengeti, the splendor of this open space. And I believe that's where the myth comes from. The myth of wild Africa, of an unspoiled Eden. In the pre-colonial period, many of the pastoral communities, such as the Samburu and the Maasai, relied on wildlife as a second cattle. It was a fallback resource. They hunted, but they're talking about hunting with spears and arrows. The colonizers arrived in Africa. They brought with them new tools for hunting. And they began to allocate land for ranching, land for agriculture. The colonizers took over the management of wildlife. They became the people who developed the tourism safaris. They became the big hunters. Eventually, what you had was the late 30s, early 40s, the movement to create national parks. When they started to set up national parks, in all instances, there were people living in those areas. There was a particular area that was desirable as a national park. And that's how you end up with a really command and control way of managing wildlife. Utilized in sustainable fashion. They began to look on it as a nuisance. And then we go through a phase when we transition from the colonial rule to self-government. One of the comparative advantage that many African countries have, especially those that don't have minerals, those that don't have manufacturing, it is tourism. And so we go through a phase of transition when we begin to bring Africans into wildlife management. But still fashioned along the same line as the colonial government wildlife management, where you're using the gun, fighting poachers. The change in conservation begins to take place when there is a realization that the command and control, the fortress type of conservation was not working. You don't have enough guns, you don't have enough individuals to protect every single elephant that is walking around Africa. You need more people who feel vested. This resource is theirs, and therefore they need to protect it as they look for ways that they can benefit from it.